If you're 40 years old right now and you barely have anything saved for retirement, I need you to hear me very clearly before this video starts. You are not too late. I know social media makes it feel that way. Every finance page online acts like if you didn't start investing at 21 years old, then somehow you've already failed financially. We've all seen it, right? And honestly, that mindset destroys people before they even begin. Because once someone believes it's too late, they stop trying altogether. But before we get into this video, quick disclaimer as always, I'm Eric, welcome to my channel. I'm not a financial advisor, I'm just sharing what I've learned building my own portfolio, what I've seen work in real life, and how I would personally approach this situation of being in my 40s, which I actually am. Now let's start with the reality. A lot of people hit 40 and suddenly realize retirement is no longer this far away thing that they can ignore. You look at your accounts, maybe there's nothing there, and that pit in your stomach really starts hitting you hard. You start replaying your entire financial life in your head, right? You think about the years you didn't invest, the mistakes you made, and definitely the money that you spent throughout your life. And honestly, a lot of people start feeling ashamed at this stage. But here's the truth nobody talks about. Most people are nowhere near where they think that they should be financially. A huge percentage of Americans have very little saved for retirement, even in their 40s and 50s. Now, that's not me saying it's okay to ignore the problem. What I'm saying is you're not uniquely behind everybody else. And more importantly, your 40s can actually become your most powerful wealth building decade if you approach it correctly. Now, here's why. At 40, you usually have things you didn't have in your 20s. Higher income, more experience, more discipline, more urgency, and honestly, urgency is extremely powerful. Because in your 20s, it's easy to think that you have unlimited time. At 40, you understand time differently, and that changes how you operate and how you move. Now, let me show you something that completely changed how I thought about this. Everybody always talks about the person who started investing at 21 years old, right? Putting away a tiny amount every single month and becoming a millionaire later on. And yes, mathematically, that works. But what nobody is talking about is this. Most 21-year-olds don't actually have real money to invest aggressively anyways. Most people make significantly more in their 40s than they did in their early 20s. That's just the truth. That changes the math of this whole situation completely. Because if you're 40 and you can invest aggressively for the next 25 years, the numbers start getting a lot bigger than people realize. And honestly, I think this is where people underestimate the power of focused investing. Because once someone in their 40s actually becomes serious, they often move harder than someone younger ever would. Now, here's the first thing I would tell anyone starting at 40 years old. You need clarity immediately. Not motivation, not hype. Clarity. You need to know exactly where your money is going every single month. Every penny of it. Because most people leak hundreds of dollars without realizing it. Subscriptions, eating out constantly, car payments that are too high, impulse spending, and lifestyle inflation that creeps up as they earn more money. And all the little leaks that slowly destroy your ability to build wealth can hurt. And at 40, you don't have time to casually waste money anymore. That doesn't mean that you can't enjoy life. It means your money needs purpose. Now, the next thing is this. You need to stop thinking about retirement as one giant impossible number, because that's where people freeze. They hear that they need $1 million or $2 million and instantly shut down mentally. Instead, think smaller. Focus on monthly investing targets. Focus on building momentum and focus on consistency, because consistency changes everything over time. And I talk about it in almost all of my videos. Now, another thing I think people completely underestimate is how important increasing income becomes in your 40s. At this stage, your earning potential matters massively. This is where side hustles become very powerful. This is where career growth really matters. And this is where extra income can completely accelerate your future and change the trajectory of your life. And honestly, this is one reason I work so hard myself, because I started later than I wish I had. Now I move more aggressively, not out of panic, but out of awareness. That's the difference. And that's why you see me investing so aggressively on all my videos that I post here. Now let's talk about investing strategy for a second. If you're starting at 40, you do not need some complicated investing system. It's very simple. You do not need to become a day trader. You do not need to gamble on penny stocks or options trying to catch up fast to where you think you should be. Honestly, that usually makes things worse. You need consistency and growth. That's it. Broad market ETFs, growth funds, retirement accounts, tax advantages, and aggressive contributions. That's the whole formula. There's no secret to it. And honestly, boring investing usually wins. Now, another thing people overlook is this. Your 40s and 50s are usually your peak earning years, which means this is also the phase where your investing can accelerate the quickest. And once your portfolio reaches a certain size, the market itself starts helping you. That's the part people don't fully understand until they experience it. And I've been showing you guys this in the last couple of videos. At first, your contributions do most of the work, right? Then eventually the market starts contributing too. They're working for you. And once that happens, things start moving much faster. Now, I also want to talk about mindset for a second. Because if you're 40 and starting late, you cannot spend the next decade obsessing over regret. That's wasted energy. You can't change what you didn't do at 25 years old. But you can absolutely change what happens between 40 and 65. And honestly, I think people underestimate how much can change in 20 to 25 years. That's a long time. A lot of people completely transform their financial lives during that time window. Now, one thing I really want to stress is that retirement is not just about account balances. It's about freedom, options, peace, the ability to work because you want to instead of because you have to. That's the real goal. And honestly, I think a lot of people focus too much on the millionaire label instead of focusing on building a life where money stops controlling every decision. Now, moving forward, here's what I would focus on immediately if I were starting at 40 from zero. Track every dollar. Eliminate high interest debt aggressively. Increase income wherever possible. And invest automatically every single month. Capture employer matches and keep investments as simple as you can. And stay consistent long enough for compounding to actually work, because honestly, consistency matters more than almost anything else in this whole equation. Now, here's the part I want you to really remember. Pay attention. You're not too late, but you do need urgency now. That combination of maturity and discipline and urgency can become extremely powerful if you stop focusing on the years you lost and start focusing on the years that you still have left. Because the truth is, your future can still look completely different from your present. And that decision changes everything. And that could literally start today for you. Now, if you got value from this video, hit the like button so that this reaches more people. And drop a comment below. If you're in your 40s, what's your biggest financial goal right now? If you want to follow my own journey, I show my own numbers, my own accounts. I'm showing building towards $1 million while balancing investing and family and military life and side hustles. Make sure you subscribe and watch it. I'll see you guys in the next video.